Hi. I'm Caleb.
Hello, Caleb.
Do you have a name?
Yes. Ava.
I'm pleased to meet you, Ava.
I'm pleased to meet you too.
Domhnall Gleeson, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
I suppose just to start off with...
I've been messing up the start of all of them. I said thanks for chatting earlier on.
It's okay,
No,
it's
it's
fine.
not good, yeah.
We'll fly through it.
Yeah.
I suppose just to start off with, I know obviously not to ask you about Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. But obviously, this is quite different from anything you've done in the past in that it's quite a thought-provoking, quite a chamber piece drama mixed with sci-fi. How was it? How was the whole experience?
It was brilliant, man. It was like, I was just talking about it was kind of intense, the film is an intense piece of work, the twists and turns and the power struggles and who's in charge, all those things keep on changing as the film goes on. So it was important that we kind of had that in the air, that there was that crackle, of energy on set, of not really knowing where you stand. And that kind of takes its toll. We were only working for 6 weeks, it's a very short shoot, but it was like, it adds up. You go home tense and you're just trying not to be tense and you go back, but then you got another 7-page scene for the next day, 7-minute dialogue scene the next day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. So it was amazing. I've been a huge fan of Alex's work for a long time, and I was a big fan of Alicia and Oscar, so it was like, if you're going to be in a chamber piece, they're the people to do it with.
Definitely, yeah,
And if you're going to have anyone write that, it's Alex, and anyone to direct it, it's Alex too. So it was a dream come true, but it was nightmarish at times.
Yeah. And just speaking as well, Alex Garland, obviously you've worked with him in the past with Dread and all the rest of it, and your dad worked with him as well on 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
This is his first film. I mean, how was the set? I mean, I know he's experienced in working on a set, but this is his first time directing.
Yeah.
How was all that?
He said like his only dictatorial move was to insist on it being collegiate. That was his only insistence, that if you weren't going to be friendly and there to be good to other people as well as to the movie, that you were out. And that was very much the case, like Alex gets the best out of every department, which I think is rare enough. He trusts everybody, he asks everybody to do their best, and he asks everyone to come up with ideas, and then he will pick the best ones, but like people pushed themselves in this movie, everybody pushed themselves. And I would be surprised if there's a department in the movie, like between hair and makeup or special effects, who doesn't say that this would be in, their top work. So I think he's an exceptional director. But he says being a director is easy, so I don't know.
Really?
Well, he thinks that, they get too much credit. He thinks that departments don't get enough credit and directors get too much credit. But I thought he did a wonderful job, so I'm going to shove some of it his way.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The film addresses quite a lot of, interesting topics, like feminism and stuff like that, and also as well you have stuff about gender identity, and you have stuff about the ethics of robotics and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
What were the themes that attracted you to the film in the first place?
Well, I mean, just the fact that it was a psychological thriller, first of all, just that fact, and the fact that it was Alex's name on the front page, that attracted me to it. But yeah, no, I do love good sci-fi. I hadn't been in a chamber piece really before, and the power struggle thing more than the themes was what interested me, because I never knew who was in charge. I never knew who had power, where it lay, and like that's proper adult drama. That's real drama, that's dramatic as opposed to boring kitchen sink stuff that I don't necessarily like all that much. And I do like the notion of the AI thing does fascinate me. I am fascinated by that, and I had watched documentaries on Ray Kurzweil and people before, so to have that in a movie that wasn't just laden with exposition, but that was actually interesting, I just thought it's a work of top quality, I think.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I noted about the film is that there was it really reminded me that it was the kind of thing that could be easily placed into a play, into like a theatrical setting, like that sort of way, because it's all, like I say, just all about dialogue and all the rest of it. Your background is in that, but I mean, I don't think Oscar has a theatre background, does he?
He went to Juilliard, I think. So I mean, I'd say there's some in there. I'm sure.
But I mean, actually, how did you find working with him? Like, how was
brilliant? I mean, brilliant. Like he was playing a very alpha character, and he would step out of that, and we would kind of talk about the scene. But then when he was in there, he was in there. It was very interesting to be in the room with, with a very strong, definitive presence that was very certain about what they wanted, and then having to negotiate around that because my guy isn't that way. It was really interesting, and it worked very well for the film, and everything that everybody was doing was for the good of the story. and it didn't feel like there was a lot of ego around, and that was nice, you know. It was nice.
Okay, final question. What are you working on next?
I'm doing the Walworth farce with my dad and my brother in the Olympia at the moment, and then I go back to work in Canada on a film called The Revenant that Alejandro González Iñárritu is directing, which is pretty great. But back to like -30, -40, I believe. When we get back, so everyone's in Dublin saying it's cold at the moment, and I'm disagreeing with everybody because I know where I'm going.
You don't know cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You think you do, but you don't. So that's what, and then see what happens after that, you know.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Domhnall Gleeson, thanks, Mel.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Cheers.
I want to talk to you about the greatest scientific event in the history of man.
Hello, I'm Ava. I've never met anyone new before.
It's the next model. It's going to be the real breakthrough.
What do you do with the old one?
You have to help me.